Hello, my name is Dr. Deeawn Roundtree. I'm a leadership trainer, coach, and speaker certified with the John Maxwell team and CEO of Roundtree Training and Consulting.
Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, I have Dr. Deeawn Roundtree, and she is the owner, founder, and the lovely face. And if you hear her voice, you're going to just listen for days on days of Roundtree Training and Consulting right here in Palm Beach County. I saw her, I think, in a government meeting, and I said, I need to talk to somebody this polished, because you guys know I'm a little rough around the edges. And, you know, she is a certified John Maxwell certified family team trainer. So she is well vetted by one of the best to ever do it. Dr. Roundtree, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Kellen. Thank you for having me today. How are you?
I am awesome, blessed by the best. And I just want you to tell people, you know, with that voice of yours and the passion that you have, what you do, because I find it to be so, you know, we do like-minded things, but you definitely have a beautiful touch on it.
Oh, thank you, Kellen. What I do is help individuals who are in their careers and perhaps they want to get promoted. Perhaps they want to hone their leadership skills, their communication skills, their interpersonal skills, emotional intelligence, so that they can lead more effectively within the workplace. Maybe they want to go on an interview for that new position that they applied for and want to get prepared and make themselves stand out from the competition during the interview process. What I do is help people as far as their careers to get polished, as you mentioned, and to increase their confidence and ability to show up and stand out positively within their companies that they work for. But I also help business owners, entrepreneurs who want to connect more effectively with their clients and have the confidence also in their own business to operate it more effectively, by improving their communication skills, proving their ability to understand and know specifically what they want to achieve as far as goal setting within their companies, within their own businesses. So I do all that through either one-on-one coaching, group coaching, or through corporate training.
Now, can you talk about, you know, teaching people the soft skills? Because throughout school, you know, we go get all these degrees and very few classes do we have on the soft skills, where I find that, you know, Black people especially, it's almost like many of us are just born with it. It's just on us. The swag is there, but then you have to learn the other side. And then on the other side, if you don't have the swag and you might not know, you know, what the dance is at the gala to do, you have to learn those things. And some people like really stress out about, I want to learn how to be personable, but I wasn't taught that. I was taught chemistry. I was taught, you know, tech.
Yeah.
So can you talk about the importance of that and how you teach that?
Absolutely. So before I decided to embark on my own business full-time, I was doing it part-time. I left my employer as a business professor and program director in March. And what really inspired me to go this direction is my own personal experience. I started in the workplace right out of high school. And I mistakenly thought that once you start working for money, all of the pettiness, the gossiping, the backbiting, all those things would come to an end because we're adults. Well, I surely learned the hard way that it's just on another level and the risks are higher. And that's what really caused me to embark on my own personal journey to improve my leadership skills, communication skills, emotional intelligence skills, particularly when I was hired in the pharmaceutical industry. That really took me to another level when it came to really understanding company politics, how to dress, how to carry yourself, how to have a professional conversation and represent your organization appropriately. And I remember when I was hired, I went to this lunch that was given by the trainers, and we went to this wonderful restaurant, had a wonderful place setting, and all of us there were college educated. You could not become a pharmaceutical sales professional without a college degree. We stood at that table, looked at the place setting, and we were looking down through our peripheral vision, trying to see which one would go first to show us which utensil to use. And that's when I realized that, you know what, I need to get trained. I want to be more confident, so I know exactly what to do. It inspired me to become a certified image consultant, where I learned for myself proper business etiquette and protocol, dining etiquette, how to dress appropriately, how to communicate more efficiently. And it inspired me to want to help others like me who come into the workplace totally unprepared for the expectations, particularly the things that, like you said, we don't talk about. We get our degrees, we get our diplomas, but those soft skills, essential soft skills is what they are, and emotional intelligence, which is, I can't tell you, express enough how important it is for you to know how to build positive relationships within the workplace. I had to go and be able to help and support others. And that too inspired me to become a business professor. And to your point, we touch on it, maybe a chapter or two within organizational behavior or business communications or leadership. But you really, really do need to have a deep dive so that you can become more self-aware and know how you show up in public and in private, so that you can accept and truly understand and build positive relationships that will help and support you in any endeavor that you have, whether it's within your career or within your business. As we all know, and as we all say, it's about relationships. We used to say location, location, location. Let me tell you, when it comes to business, it's relationships, 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 whether you're in the workforce or working for yourself.
Definitely true. And you said so much, but I have to go back to, the placement of where to eat, because I've had people say, Kellen, what is this pitchfork looking fork that they're giving me? And I'm like, that's your dessert fork. Or, you could say, I'm a sous chef. So that could be, your pie fork, depending on how you want to take it. But, how do you teach that? Does someone then have to go through a course online, or do they have to sit with you at a dinner? How detailed do you go when teaching people etiquette?
Yes, well, I have been called in by universities to come and actually teach a class where we are actually at a dinner setting or dinner table or lunch table and actually going through the place settings. But I can do it virtually by just showing you virtually how a proper place setting is and the do's and don'ts when you are sitting at a lunch or business meal. So it's not hard at all, but it's so important to know, just for your own confidence. And so you don't embarrass yourself, because people are watching.
And you don't want to have an embarrassing moment, especially if you're sitting, at some gala, or
Yes.
if you're,
Socially.
Socially, you're at the Rotary Club and you don't know what spoon or what is what. It can be embarrassing, which stops a lot of people who did not grow up, knowing these things, or going to even restaurants, period. They say, I'm embarrassed to go out, or that I have to be somebody else when I go out. What do you say to those people who say, I don't want to put on airs, and the cotillions are fine, but I'd rather my child go to the, skating rink and we have fun doing that. Like, what are the benefits and your advice?
Yes, so I can relate, and I can understand why people feel like they can't be themselves or they're putting on airs. It's just like the English language. We're in America. The language is English. And if you cannot speak properly, people are going to judge you, and it'll hold you back. And it also damages your self-esteem and confidence when you can't speak properly. It's the same thing when you don't know the proper etiquette and protocol, when you are entering the workforce, when you are entering a business or social event, knowing what fork, what spoon to use, knowing how to place your napkin, knowing what to say and what not to say during conversations at these events. What people don't realize is that we're being scrutinized. I'm like you. I did not grow up with a silver spoon. When we ate, we just ate. There was no, okay, you have to do this or do that. No one taught me how to do that either. And it wasn't until I got into corporate America and realized that there was just so much I did not know, and realized that people like me didn't know either. And even people who didn't look like me didn't know. And I realized that there is a need to fill this gap, to fill this gap of knowledge, so that we can not only show up because we have the credentials, but we also have the soft skills and the social graces so that we can show up in any situation confidently.
Well, I love that. Now, how difficult is it? Because, people don't know what they don't know. And usually it's like after somebody goes to a tea party and someone says, you're not really supposed to cuff your cup like that, or you're over stirring, or it's,
Yes.
tea before milk. How do people find you outside of, doing interviews like this, because they don't know what they don't know?
Exactly. Well, I'm very active on LinkedIn. I have a website, which is my name, full name, DeeawnRoundtree.com, DeeawnRoundtree.com, or you can Google me at Roundtree Training and Consulting. And again, I'm located in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and you can reach out to me directly via LinkedIn. I'm also a member of the Black Chamber of Commerce. You can reach out to me through their directory as well. But I consider myself pretty accessible, and I'm on Facebook as well, pretty active on social media. So anyone who wants to contact me, feel free to do so. My telephone number, my business line is 561-321-3845. I would love to talk to you.
And almost, and I've said this to influencers years ago that are like, big stars now, and saying, what your show does is what your dad should have told people. And your show or your business is what their mother could have told them, or their grandmother, but not everybody had the same upbringing or,
Right.
accessible to certain things. So I could almost see like a YouTube channel for you saying, this is what your mother could have or should have told you, or your father, because there's a lot of people who are looking for that stuff, but somebody like yourself who could sit with the Queen of England and, blend in. Usually we don't find people like you on Instagram or the YouTubes. we find the people who have maybe some good advice, but then they throw in some, dirt in the water to, because that's what wins. That's the sensationalism.
Right.
So how can we get you to get on like YouTube or TikTok and be active on there?
Yeah, I love that, Kellen. And I do want to create a YouTube channel. I just started, barely touching the surface, but that, is definitely on my radar. And you know what? I just realized I misspoke on my phone number. It's 561-323. 3845, not 321. But definitely, I do want to do some of those kinds of things, some more videos, and really help people as much as possible. I do workshops virtually or on site. So anyone who wants me to come in and do a workshop on etiquette and corporate politics, on my website, they can even purchase my book. I wrote a book years ago called Beyond the Boardroom. Learn how to play and win at the game of corporate politics, where I touch on some of the things we just spoke about. And I also do workshops on these very topics. Not to mention, I have an online course. It's called Beyond the Boardroom, Your Pathway to Success in the Workplace. They can access it right from my website at the top left corner. And, it includes 3 one-on-one coaching sessions. And I do have some flexibility with that program, depending on the individual's needs. But these are some ways that I'm trying to get the word out, trying to help people so that they are more prepared, more confident, and ready to succeed in their careers and businesses.
Now, this is your business, but a lot of what I hear and what I love is, trying to help people. What is your community give back that you are doing or that you plan on doing in the future?
Oh, thank you. Well, right now I serve on 2 boards. I'm, in fact, almost 3. I'm getting ready to join the board for the Marjorie Boys and Girls Club in West Palm Beach, and Marjorie Fisher, that is. And I'm also currently a board member for Genesis Community Health in Boynton and the Women's Circle, also in Boynton. And these, of course, these nonprofit organizations help disadvantaged individuals. Additionally, I am a member of Jack and Jill of America and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated in Wilmington. In fact, our name, we just got chartered and we're still celebrating that. We're Alpha Alpha Upsilon Omega. And we are located in Wellington. So these are just some of the things that I'm doing to give back to the community. And I work with other nonprofits like the Talented Teen Club, who wants me to come and do some workshops on some of these very topics we discussed today for their summer programs. So I try to be out there as much as possible and want to do even more.
Talented Teen Club. The owner is Sean. We've had we've had Sean on and stay in contact because we love consultants. So that is awesome stuff. Now, you say, talking about the community, can you tell people how beneficial joining groups like this are? Because the old saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yes.
How important is it to go together doing these community, organizations and projects?
Yeah, so giving back should be top on your mind when you are trying to get involved in these organizations. The byproduct of doing that is that people get to know, like, and trust you. And it's a wonderful way for you to network, for you to partner with others, with like-minded individuals with similar values. And there's just opportunities to help and support these organizations and others when you are involved. Again, it's all about relationships. And one of the things I did not mention, Kellen, is in addition to having my own business as a leadership coach, trainer, and speaker, I also own my own professional networking group. It's called Network in Action Palm Beach Gardens. That's one group, and Network in Action North Palm Beach. And what I do is bring together decision makers and business owners and professionals who want to be intentional about supporting each other's businesses and helping each other to grow their business. It's part of their marketing budget to be a part of one of these groups. And what I have found, Kellen, joining some of these free networking groups, not like the chambers, because they're not free, of course, but some of the free ones, and even the chambers, of course, not the Black Chamber, but the Chamber of the Palm Beaches and some of the others, you don't see a lot of African Americans in these organizations. You might can count us on one hand. At least that's what I saw. That's what I witnessed. And it has inspired me to have this franchise so that the business owners, the movers and shakers, the decision makers within Palm Beach, so that we can also be more intentional about referring clients and helping each other to grow our businesses and building those relationships that really do last a lifetime. So that's just another part and another way that I am intentional about helping business owners and helping others so that they can reach their goals in their businesses and in the workplace.
And how important is it to, network in action? Let's stay there. people always tell me, Kellen, you told me about, Rotary. I tried to join,
Yeah.
but they wanted, some money out of me. Yeah,
Yeah.
some groups need money to keep thriving. But Network in Action, is it a free group? If not, how much is it? Because people battle with how many groups can I be a part of?
Yes.
What's my budget like? So talk about Network in Action and how that works.
Yes. So there are many paid membership professional networking organizations like Network in Action that have been out here for years. And again, particularly in the Black community, many of us are not a part of them because of the membership fee. Ours is also a paid membership, but the value you get far surpasses the fee because you are, number one, representing your organization or your industry within the group so that you're not competing with other people who are in the same industry as if you would at one of the chambers or Rotary clubs or some of the free groups. So if you are, let's say, a realtor or financial advisor or an attorney, only one person from your industry can be in the group, which makes it exclusive. The other thing is it really helps you to get quality referrals because you're held accountable. It's not a free-for-all and it's not a social club. These people are in these groups specifically to market their business, specifically to get clients and referrals. So the quality is there. Not only that, with Network in Action, we give you a guaranteed return on your investment. We guarantee that you will get 10 times your investment if you hold up your bargain. What's your bargain? Attend 11 out of the 12 meetings. That's accountability. And pass on to others, help others by passing on 12 referrals. If you hold your end of the bargain, I'll hold up my end as the franchisee. And if you don't get 10 times your investment, then we will give you your next year as a member for free. And I haven't heard that in any other model, whether you're a chamber, a Rotary club, or any of the other professional networking groups. And that's what inspired me to want to become a part of this and really attract people who are serious about helping each other to grow their business as they're growing theirs.
That is something, and I love networking, especially the higher it goes, the better. I haven't heard that in any group that we can guarantee that because sometimes people just aren't good human beings. So they don't work well with people. So that's why nobody wants to do business with you, or maybe they don't get it. Maybe you're too far in the future, right? But that is awesome. And I want you guys to check that out. And we will have links in the description for all of this.
Yes.
Let me ask you, because it's a question that especially younger people ask me, especially Black ones, and they say, how do you do what you do with your hair like that? Or the outfits that you choose, or even the glasses that my eyes are extremely sensitive to light. So most of my glasses are somehow tinted in one way or the other. But they say, how do you do that? Like, why do they do business? And I just tell them, because nobody else will either do it for them or do it for the price. And I'm very comfortable in being me. So that's all that I can tell you. But there's someone out there right now who, they might have their bonnet on right now. And they may want to go to the event like that, or maybe they have the love locks in their hair as well. And they're like, I don't feel like I'm going to be comfortable. And before you answer that, let me just say, nobody except Black people have ever mentioned my hair. White folks never mention it.
Wow.
And ever. And I get to sit in some of the best rooms wherever I go, and they've never said, could you maybe think about cutting your hair? It's actually rebellion. So I just want to know, how should someone deal with that may not have the confidence or be in the position that I am to say, it's okay if you don't like me?
That's such a great point, Kellen, because you're your own business owner. You get to set the tone, you get to set the rules and the culture for who you are and how you show up. And that's the benefit and freedom of being an entrepreneur. The only people you need to worry about are your clients and how you connect and relate to them. It's the same way in the workplace. When people show up and work for an organization, they need to be able to identify the culture. We all have a culture. America has a culture. We need to know the lay of the land. When in Rome, do what the Romans do. But, excuse me, I do understand when it comes to our hair, that's a touchy subject. I know when I was in the pharmaceutical industry, I used to wear my hair natural, just kind of like a wavy curl. And I remember this young lady who had a little more tenure than I did at the time in the industry. And she said, that hair is just so unprofessional, just not professional. And it made me feel some kind of way, I must admit. And I could have done one or two things. I could have said, I don't care what she says, and just wore my naturalness in all of its radiance. And see, this was a few years ago, so we've come a ways since then. We're starting to embrace our natural hair, and so is corporate America. But back then, we were still a little more conservative. And the company that I worked for was very conservative. And so what I decided to do was to heed what she had to say, because I had to understand that this venue where I work is just not ready for natural hair, because they're looking at their clients who might not look like me, who are physicians, and who might feel uncomfortable with my natural hair. Now, today I might not do that because, again, we've come a long way as a race, but it's always been, an issue. And it's an issue if you make it an issue. Yes, should people accept us? Sure. But do they have to? No. Not until you own the company. If you own the company, then you show up the way you want to. But when you're working for another company, then you need to understand the culture. Just like if I went to Jamaica or Africa or Europe or wherever I am, I need to read the lay of the land. And the way I dress, the way I speak, the way I go about my life, it's going to be a little different depending on where I am. It's the same way whenever you're working in a company, you need to know what the symbols are. What does this company represent? How can I best represent and reflect the company that I work for? But you know what? At the end of the day, you do have to feel comfortable with yourself, and you do have to make hard choices. And making those hard choices sometimes means that you have to be willing to take the consequences, whatever they are. I mean, my hair, I can wear it curly, I can wear it straight. I'm grateful for it, but it's not who I am. Who I am is inside. This is just this superficial. It's just a shell. But how I communicate, how I relate and connect with others, that's what really lasts. Way beyond the texture of my hair and how I wear it. That's more important. The way I communicate and enunciate my consonants are much more important than how I wear my hair, and how you treat people and how you make people feel when they're around you. That is what will last a lifetime.
And I think for Black people, here in this country, at least, it's you talk about, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. But then it's so many different pockets, and depending on who you are around, they're going to and being able to, people will say code switch, but it's really just speaking the language of the people that you're talking to.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yes, but Black women have it even extra hard, because we've seen in the news for numerous years now of even, and some Spanish women as well, that you have teachers or weather women who are criticized on the internet for what they're wearing, where their white counterparts can wear the same thing, but because of the beautiful curviness, and thank God for it. Don't take it away. That because of the curves, it's like Black women, now I got to worry about my hair, what I wear. I can't wear what Bucky Sue and Lee wear. I have to worry about. And I'm like, no, don't worry about that. Do you?
Yeah.
Because them curves ain't going nowhere. So unless you're in a burqa, and we can still see it through the burqa, you know, you're not running from nothing
Right,
when the
right.
water out. But yeah, I just want to know, like, how can a young woman, a young Black woman, I have two daughters, londonandsydney.com. That's
Yes.
their website.
I love
You
it.
know, yeah, I want to show them and have them hear, not just from their mother or me, but
Right.
how others can benefit, like how they can
Yes.
just be themselves.
Well, you can be yourself. However, you have to realize that until a person gets to know you, we are all being judged within 58 seconds based on or less, based on our appearance, how we show up. It takes time to get to know my heart and to know the kind of individual I am. So for example, going to the mall, if I'm dressed a certain kind of way, then the people who work there might look at me 2 or 3 times, wondering why I'm in that jewelry store or that high-end department store. But if I show up dressed a little differently, a little more high-end, a little more upscale, I don't have to wear, heels or anything, but, just a little more upscale, I would say, then they're not going to think too much of it because it's just how we're wired. People judge you on your physical appearance. Don't take it so personally. If you want people to accept you, then help them to get past the exterior. Make it easy for them. You see, to your point, Black women, we have curves. I know as much as I like to wear certain kinds of clothes, there are certain things I'm going to have to cover up. Why? Because I don't want you to be distracted by my curves. I want you to focus on what I bring to the table as an intellectual, educated Black woman. Now, if I'm going to the club, you might see me in a different kind of outfit, but you communicate and you teach people how to treat you based on how you dressed. It's just a fact. As far as being yourself, what does that mean? I know when I'm at home, I'm laid back. But when I'm in public, I'm a different way. I'm still me, but you're going to see different aspects of me. So you have to understand, what do you mean by who you are? What does that mean? Are you saying you're ghetto? Hope not, because that's not the image you want to portray, right? Are you saying I can be taken seriously and you can trust me with your clients? You can trust me to get the job done. I look the part, I speak the part because I am the part. Then show that. You see, it's not all about you until you own your own business, and then you still have to worry about your clients and how they're going to perceive you as well. We don't live in just this cocoon as much as we might want to, and maybe we thought we did when we were doing in this quarantine, but we're not. We are interdependent. We need each other. And we want to know, like, and trust each other, especially when it comes to business. I want to be able to hire my sister to come alongside me and help me to do a training or a coaching program. But if she's looking a certain kind of way and not reflecting the image that I want her to reflect, then I can't trust her with my clients. And I'm a Black woman. So, go ahead.
How can women navigate also, can women have it all? Big time question. And can they have the family, or is it just, if you're going to do business as a woman, focus on your business, let everything behind. You can't manage the kids and a business. Unfortunately, these are still things that I'm hearing people say. And I'm like, what year are we in? Am I in the black and white twilight zone? Because, how can you help a woman, with those things, and I want you guys to go check out her website so you can get the real one-on-one help, but give them just a sneak peek of how they can manage all of that.
Yes, thank you. And that is definitely why people hire me, Kellen, because they're trying to manage it all. I have a young lady calling me. She's just starting her own business and she wants to show up professionally professionally for her corporate clients. She's married, and she is trying to balance it all. And let me just say, as I'm coaching her, this is what I would say to anyone who is listening. It starts with your mindset. If you believe that you can have it all, you can have it all. It's just knowing when to ebb and flow, because there are certain times in my life as a mother where my son has to have 100% of my attention. And there was a time in his life, he's, not now, he's 17 years old, but back in the day, it was mommy, mommy, mommy. That was my focus. But I still worked on my career. I pursued both of my doctoral degrees as a mom and working. And so I thank God I have a husband who supports me in that, and that does help. But if you're not married, you need a support system to help you and support you as you are growing your business, as you're trying to move up the corporate ladder. I think having that support system is key, whether it's other family members or even good friends that you can trust to help you to manage it all. And don't feel like you have to be superwoman, but it's priorities and it's your mindset and the belief that you can do what you want to do. Maybe not all at once. Like me, I have to tell myself I can do only one thing at a time sometimes, because you don't want to stretch yourself too thin. I was exhausted before this pandemic, stretching myself way too thin. So even though there were some hardships in my family, this quarantine was a blessing in disguise as well, because it caused me to stop and reprioritize what's most essential in my life. And we all have to do that, whether you're a man or a woman. And then that's ongoing. It's not set in stone. It changes with the different phases of your life.
Now, I love that. And you guys have gotten the game. And I don't want to give you a game overload, because I want you to take action, go to the website, check out the book, check out the courses, get what's right for you. And also remember this, because Dr. Roundtree had said, if you see her in the club, now that you know she's married, no matter what you see her in the club, she may be doing the split. Remember, her husband might be right behind her, so you don't get behind her and let her enjoy her time to turn up. I thank you, Dr. Roundtree, for coming on. Do you want to leave the people with anything?
Yeah, just one thing, Kellen. I have not been in the club for many years. Those days are over, but you will see me at a nice restaurant or maybe a gala or two. And I do like to have fun. That is for sure. But anyone who wants to reach out to me, I'm down to earth, because I remember where I came from. I know what it's like to struggle in the workplace and in your business. I know what it's like to deal with people who look like us and people who don't look like us, and managing those relationships. And sometimes we can be harder on each other 10 times over with someone who doesn't look like. And so I've been in those situations as well. And I'd love to support anyone who's having struggles and want to take their career or their business to the next level. I hope you reach out to me.
You guys have got the game. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and
are you tired of the rat race in America? Are you ready to visit the motherland to relax and rejuvenate? Are you ready to explore all that Africa has to offer? Then check out the brand new Diversified Game Academy course, Prepare for My First Trip to Africa. Are you worried about being able to afford the trip? We got you. We will show you how to travel either on a budget or as a baller. Learn how to stress the value of the USD. Did you know that 100 United States dollars is worth over 1,000 South African rand, or 10,000 Kenyan shillings, or 54,250 West African CFA? Are you worried about taking your kids? Get the game from Kellen Cash, a bona fide world traveler, having traveled to almost 20 countries, several of those in Africa. Get the game on taking your kids on their first trips. Learn how to find the best tickets, get the visas, and plan your own adventures in Africa. Don't let Eddie Murphy have all the fun. Plan your own coming to Africa trip starring you, produced by you, and featuring you. If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.